Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to a Keelgottime video, and today, because Keel's got some time, we're going to be reacting to Is Cheating Always Wrong? Now this is part 2 to this video. We have done half of this video already, so if you want to scroll back, I'm pretty sure it was a very long time ago though when we done the first half. But yeah, finally getting around to it, so let go. This question is, oh wait, it's up here. If you cheat on someone, you're not in love with them. Which no, I don't think that's true. You can cheat and still love someone.
Agreeers. Oh, I'm sorry.
For men, I know. Anyway, we can cheat and still love someone.
That's that.
Oh no.
Agreeers? Oh, sorry.
Apologies.
You are not in love with them, right?
Yeah, not.
Okay.
At first I stuttered because I was trying to think, in their own right, they may think they're in love, but as a flat statement, I don't think they are. If you really are truly in love, it's all you think about is that other person, right? You want to be with them, you want to try and do right with them, even though there may be certain things you do up and down that may not displease them, but you're learning together. But going out and being unfaithful to them and then turn around saying you still love them, it just doesn't sit right with me. Or it doesn't logically make sense to me in that aspect. Thoughts?
Okay.
Because I know you're...
It don't logically make sense, but when has anything to do with love logically made sense though? You know? And I'm not here advocating for the cheaters. I'm just saying I think you can still love someone.
itching.
I'm itching. I think that falling in love is an experience. In my experience, I had never encountered the experience of falling in love. I can say with certainty today that my episode of cheating was definitely the experience of falling in love. When I was with the partner that I cheated on, it was a part of a plan. There was a plan to get married, there was a plan to have kids, there was a plan to make sure everything we did was in the best interest of each other. Whereas the aspect of falling in love, there was no plan. I crossed paths with somebody who lit my soul on fire, and all logic went out the window.
Was that love though or lust?
Oh, it was so much. It was so much. So I think that when I think of the word love now, I actually replace it with the word want. I think that the statement that
What? What is she talking about?
was made about not being in love with somebody, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have capacity or capability to love him. I certainly was loving him in other ways.
Again, we're all doing this. We kind of like try to figure out what the statement means and reading into it. But as the flat statement, I don't think all that's entailed. Because again, there is different types of love. There's also each person's way they look at love, what you think love is, at what age. Though maybe one thing that even now you just said, now you look at love a different way. So it gets kind of complicated. But at the base level, I think, I just feel like it's like, nah, you didn't really love them. Even on your...
Okay, well, I need to ask, so what's the base level? Like, what is the base level for love?
own description of what love means to you. Think about what love means to you. When you cheated, did you meet that standard of what love meant?
I think what's tricky about it, right, was since I had, I'll say, these idols of marriage, family, you know, all of that, I was more in love with the idea of what those things were than the person that I put into the role.
Which there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that, because again, we all come from experiences.
So, but being able to kind of look back and compare, I think that comparison is the thief of joy, right? And what it does is it steals all of the value from the experience that was still very much valid.
Yeah, no one's saying it might not be valid, but was it still love though? Because like I said,
I don't know if...
And it's hard to, I get what you're saying, you don't know, because again, you were in that, when you were in there, you were in it, and you've grown, and you've moved, and you've changed.
Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't think that you can be in love and cheat on somebody.
I want to respond to something you said that I was like, oh, okay, right in there. No, you said that when you're in love with somebody, they're all you think about, that you just want to be with that person all the time. And I vehemently disagree with that. I think, and for me, obviously, I disagree with this. I can say that I really, truly did love the people, or I should say most of the people that I cheated on. In those relationships, I based my value.
Oh, so this is a serial cheater. She be cheating.
And I based my identity on those relationships. That person was all I thought about. And it almost was like I trapped myself. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then I sought outside of that relationship. I think that they say like someone shouldn't be your universe. They should be a planet in your universe. So it's like I have friends. Sometimes I'm just like, bye, and I go hang out with my friends. My family is very important to me. He is not my world, and this is the healthiest relationship. Or is my universe.
And I was saying that more metaphorically, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But even in that, you were infatuated and everything was him, and you were giving all. Then the question is, were you in love then?
That's a good point.
I'm just asking that
Yes.
just based on what you're saying.
Like in my first serious relationship, for sure, I was in love with him, and he was my first real love, and I was in love with him, and I still made the choice to cheat. It was a choice I made. It was a selfish choice. I felt extremely guilty afterwards. So I think it depends, but I think you absolutely can be in love with somebody and still make bad choices based on selfishness, anger, insecurity, whatever it may be.
I believe that we can grow.
Oh, for y'all that don't know as well, I think I remember in the last one, these two were actually dating, and was it she cheated on him? I think she cheated on him. And they're actually, they're a thing.
Grow in love. I believe that there is portions of our love that's lacking, and then we can actually, grow in that. So I don't believe that just because you cheated on someone doesn't mean that you don't love them. I believe that, that there can be love there, but there's something there that just is causing that portion of it to just be almost like in depletion. Like I couldn't love him fully the way that the way that he needed to, because there was something there that was lacking. Like I didn't have the understanding of, what it meant to be a wife, what it meant to be a partner.
Falling in love.
I'm not like, she was just yapping. She was just yapping, bro. Talking about there's something else that just wasn't there. Mom, you just want other dick. Just say that. Just say that. Like, what's all this cover up, keep on yapping, talking about, I was a wife for the first time. I didn't understand how to be a wife, how to love, how to No. You was with your husband, you looked at another nigga, said, I want that meat. Jesus! That's what happened, bro. Stop all this bullshit.
Is not a choice. You meet someone, it happens for whatever reason, you're compatible. Staying in love is a choice. You are choosing, and perhaps in that moment, you are not choosing to love that person, or you're choosing not to love that person, and then maybe you can choose to love them again. I'm not saying falling in love, but to continue loving somebody is an action.
I do think that falling in love is a choice.
Oh.
No. I don't think. No, continuing to love someone is you can't just switch that shit off. Bro, I can't just love my mom one day and then the next day completely just I don't feel nothing for that bitch. Like what? I don't think that's how it. I mean, I don't know for her, but I don't think that's how it works, man.
And the reason that I think falling in love is a choice is because you allowed it, right? Like when I think about the experience that I had full autonomy in that situation, right? I could have immediately went to my husband and said, I've caught something. There's something magical here. I gotta go.
But you caught, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I was still we were not together. I was still talking to my ex when I met my current partner. And I told my current partner at the time, I don't want to be serious with you. I never intended to catch feelings with my current partner. I just kind of fell in love with this guy.
You know, it's interesting. The prompt is in love. And some people didn't use that when they were talking. They're saying love, not in love. And to me, in love and love are two different things.
Yeah.
I fall in love as a human being with other humans, men, women, whatever. I fall in love very easily. I believe in love. Love is the driving force of my life. So I was in love with every woman that I cheated on.
Bro, is this who can yap the best? What is he talking about? Huh? I'm in love with everybody? Everybody? Hold up. I don't know. We might need to do a background check on this dude.
Was in love with them. If I loved them truly, that would have been a different story, maybe. But to me, there's a difference
So
between
your
being in love
capacity to
and
love changed.
and you love somebody. Right?
It's so interesting because I actually, in my mind, view it like
He said absolutely nothing. Did you understand? If you understood, please type out what he was trying to say in the comments.
the opposite. Like, I love so many people.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I love my friends. I love my family. I love people that I'm like, oh, we've just met and I love you. Like, in love, when you fall in love, you're in love with somebody. It stirs something up. It's different.
I think we get the semantic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
like-
semantic. It's
it's like-
totally semantic.
yeah.
I just thought it was interesting.
I understood how she said it.
I feel like we should bring
Oh,
up
absolutely,
limerence
yeah.
maybe for a second. We're all talking about falling in love. I feel like textbook psychology brings up limerence all the time. And they actually kind of just shirk the entire affair experience under this word. And
The rest of the world that doesn't know what limerence.
limerence is a chemical reaction inside of your brain in the very early stages of a relationship.
Okay.
So it occurs between mother and child during birth. And what they say, or what a lot of people say, is that limerence is actually to blame for, and I'm not laughing, but I am. They say that limerence is actually the reaction that is at play psychologically between affair partners, because it creates this infatuation. It creates all the ecstasy feelings of being in love. So
Like a drug.
yes,
You guys
yes.
know the
a limerent object, a limerent addiction.
Do you guys know the 70-30 theory? It's like the layman's term. Yeah, that you're in a relationship with someone and you love them, and they have 70%, because nobody's perfect. They have 70% of the things that you're looking for, and then you meet someone that has that missing 30%. And you're like, oh, this person has everything that I'm missing. And then you go and you cheat with that person who's that 30%, and then you realize, oh shit.
They ain't got that 70%.
Yeah, the 70% is gone now. Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling my husband the 30%er.
Moving on to the next round. I would rather not know that I was cheated on.
Okay. I'd rather not know I was cheating. Well, I'd wanna know. It hurt me, but I'd wanna know. I'd wanna know.
It's lonely up here. So I think my perspective on this has shifted quite a bit after the last year, since I've been dialoguing so much with both betrayers and the betrayed party. And I think that there's slight benefit to the person who has been betrayed if the betrayer has already come to a decision about leaving the relationship. I think that our whole truth is not necessarily an obligation to give to everybody.
Did you let your husband know when you cheated, or your ex-husband know when you cheated on him?
Yeah, I told him.
How did that conversation
It was awful. It was horrible. It felt like I was giving him more information than he needed. What had happened was, fell in love with a colleague overseas. I was like, there's no way this can be happening. I am married. I can't do this. And then I slept with him, and I went back home, And I moved out and I said, okay, I cannot be trusted with this person. And I disclosed everything and dropped the hammer and then just went on my way to an apartment by myself. If you have cheated on somebody, the psychological effects on that person need to be considered. Your perception of everything that had occurred is tainted because you're wondering, well, was she thinking about me in this picture that we took? Was she thinking about him? And I think that there is just a lot.
I remember back a day when I was a cheater, I was a dirty cheating ass nigga. Back a day, don't do that no more. But bro, I remember the day that I just told my girl, like, yo, I done this, that, and that. Oh my gosh, but y'all, that I was sitting right here. I was like, it wasn't this bed. It was a different bed. It was a different bed. But I was sitting like right here, I'm pretty sure. And she was sitting there. And I was like, you wanna know? Really? You wanna know? Fine. Slept with her. I done this. I done that. Oh my gosh, it's not even funny, but shit, I remember that. She did not take that well, fam. But what girl would, innit? Yo, don't cheat, man. It should be hurting people's feelings. I felt like a monster that day. I can't even lie. Like, I felt really, really bad. And from then on, I fixed up. So, there we go.
To consider when you are deliberating on how much and what to share.
I love everything you just said. I agree, but with like a caveat of, I'm thinking of this from the cheater's perspective. I always told my partners when I cheated on them, but I told them for the wrong reasons. I told them to alleviate my own guilt. And when the fact is, I should have just ended the relationship. And so my thing is, I wouldn't want my partner to tell me just so they could beg me for my forgiveness and let's move forward, I would only want them to tell me in the context of like, and I'm breaking up with you. Like, and no like details or anything. It would just be like, I'm breaking up with you. Oh my God, why? Mm-hmm. I cheated. Mm-hmm. And I obviously can't be with somebody that I would cheat on.
That was another thing too. I don't know if this is, I don't know if this happens with a lot of girls, but when I like was telling her all this shit, then I was like, look, we can't be together. She made a thing of like, no, you don't get to do this to me and then break up with me. I break up with you. Like, she really, like, that point was really emphasized that I don't get to just walk away. I also remember that. So, is that like a... What do you do in them situations then? Because I know some girls do be like that. So,
Like, that would be... So yes, I would want them to tell me, but like only in that context of like, I cheated, we have to break up.
I believe you owe it to that person no matter what. I believe that the person that you cheated on needs to know, and not only that, it's the secrecy, like that it hurts so much more when you're keeping it a secret from them and not telling them anything. I truly believe in confession. I believe that needs to be said. And they need to know that. They need to know that.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned like psychological damage. How would you respond to that?
I would say it is not my place to dictate what somebody else needs. It's their place to tell me what they need.
Initially telling them that, hey, I stepped out and I cheated on you, is a necessity, just point blank, period. Now, how far you go into details is going to then at that point be, okay, how much does that person ask to where they may want to try and figure out,
okay, why did this happen? What happened? Who did it happen with? When? If they ask those questions, then I think you definitely owe it to them to answer it, regardless of what you may feel like. For to your point where you brought up psychologically, I feel like at that point, once you already cheated, like psychologically, they've already taken a lot of damage. So therefore, we still have to.
If you don't know about it, it doesn't do any damage.
Well, I will
But
say
that would
there's
be
one
the-
thing. You did say, I don't want to be with someone who cheated on me, right? So, but you agreed that you would never tell the person, right? If you cheated on them. So let's say you're in a
I didn't say
relationship.
that.
Well, but you came forward as an agreeer,
Yes.
right? And then just before we all came forward, you said, I would never want to be in a relationship with someone who cheated on me.
Yes.
And if they neglected to tell you that,
Coming from the cheater? Okay.
then you would technically be in a relationship.
Well, then I
Someone who
wouldn't.
cheated on you.
Then I'll say I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody I know cheated on me, and that's why I'm saying.
Got it,
So I
okay.
guess I'm not agree or disagree. I'm more in the middle of
Totally.
like I would want them to tell me I cheated on you, and therefore like we should break up.
In my situation, I found out. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if it would have been worse or better
Bro, Leon had it rough, boy. You can tell this nigga went through it.
if they told me. I'm being honest with you, I don't even know how to comprehend that. Like me finding out, then you bold-faced coming to me and saying, I did this, this, and this.
It doesn't change the outcome.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it makes any, me personally, I
that can
don't
be
know.
subject to any, like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody. Like, but at the end of the day, I feel like when you're holding something back from, it's honestly you're not even taking accountability for what you did. So if you're gonna say like I'm not gonna tell them because of psychological damage,
Hold
you
on.
chose to cheat.
Hold on. Disclosing that you cheated to the person that you cheated on is not accountability. That is just revealing
That is taking
information.
accountability.
Nah. Maybe a small step into taking accountability, but just letting it be known what you did. Is that accountability? Partially, but I wouldn't fully say that that's taking accountability. I mean, that's just letting it be known that you're a downright dirty dog. I think that's what that is.
I would
Accountability.
consider that as a form of taking accountability.
Also, yeah, I'm really trying to, like, as they're speaking, think back to my situation. Bro, I was scared as fuck to tell her. I was shitting bricks, bro. I was so scared. And now looking back at it, I don't know why I was so scared. Well, I knew why. She was a little bit crazy back then, a little bit, as we all were. But shit, wild time. I hope she's doing okay, man.
You're so open.
That's delivering
Be open
news.
about this. Listen,
That's delivering news.
that is
It's
a
the
form
first
of
step
taking
towards
a-
accountability.
Thank
Maybe
you.
Maybe it's
It
the
is.
first
It's the
step.
first step to
It's interesting
taking
because
necessarily
accountability.
Be
accountability.
open about this one.
Let's let her
man.
respond. Let's let her respond.
Be open.
Let her
Girlfriend. Okay. All right.
Because I
I'm
don't,
just saying, you're very open about it,
Accountability.
but you're like, it's like you
Raven, please. We just said let the woman speak. God damn it.
hypocritical. So when you're saying like, I have the right to withhold this information for the sake of psychological damage, but you chose to cheat.
You're talking about the benefits for you. You're alleviating your guilt by telling somebody what you did. You are achieving relief by doing a confession. And what I'm saying is maybe it doesn't have to be that person.
All right.
As someone who's been cheated
I was
on,
about to ask the same question.
What?
I guess who else would you tell?
I would tell a therapist. I would go and I would check myself into therapy and I would say, holy I've derailed my life and I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't want to
even
cause
the-
any more damage, and therefore, please help me guide me in my next steps.
If I'm
A
How
good
much more
therapist.
Oh yeah, she just pussy. She pussy like I was, bro. That's all that is. She she just too scared to say. She don't want to get slapped across the face. No.
That though.
Will
to be honest-
allow
selfish.
you.
It's still. It's
Oh, I'm
still a
very
form of
selfish.
selfishness.
I
That is
Actually,
quite
to be honest, I think
selfish.
my
both- I think
number one
both ways are
priority
selfish.
is me. And that was the biggest lesson I learned.
And is it still
about
like that in
cheating.
your relationship today?
Absolutely.
Well,
if I want to show up to a thriving relationship requires a fulfilled individual. And if I do not have me at the primary center of my decisions, I will start making decisions for other people. And what that means is they start to lead my life.
No.
I don't.
We don't believe
I actually changed I think I've changed my opinion. It didn't occur to me the idea of like finding it, like that just didn't
That's what I'm saying, like.
If it's for me, if it's between walking in on my partner cheating, I mean, that would just traumatize me. Versus like my partner coming to me and saying, listen, I cheated. I would prefer the latter. I would want the choice. Do I want to move forward in this relationship or do I want to break up? And I would want to give my partner that same choice to put the ball in their court and say, this happened, this is how I feel about it, which might be like, and we need to break up, or I don't want to break up, or whatever it is. I did this is how I feel. How do you feel? Do you want to stay with me? Do you want to work this out or not?
When you tell the other person, I'm always curious, like, what do you expect from the other person?
Yeah,
and that's where I
like-
start to question, are you doing it for selfish reasons? Because I expect them to be like, you know what, we'll work through it.
I don't think you can expect anything.
Which is,
You have to go in without
But I'm curious, like, at the time, can you recollect or remember what you were thinking?
Oh, at the time?
At the time, yeah, what you were thinking when you said, I'm going to tell?
There were times I cheated that I did not tell my partner. So I'm thinking about that too now. When
How
I
much
told
time
my
should
partners
have
that I
cheated?
cheated,
Damn.
it was out of guilt, it was out of shame, and I wouldn't necessarily say expectation, but my hope was that they would forgive me.
Okay.
And I guess that maybe it
Wait,
wasn't
I have a
expectation.
question really quick. Did telling them eliminate your shame and guilt?
No, of course not.
I'm curious if you're open.
Wait, let's actually dig into, I guess, what was kind of like your point there?
If you are disclosing information to somebody else in effort of releasing something that you feel is holding you back, shame and guilt, that is actually not the effective solution. The effective solution is going into the shame and guilt, acknowledging it, and understanding why it's there. Shame tells me I am not aligned with my value system and the way that I operate in the world.
But you're missing the point of the other person's time. You've pretty much ruined their life. You've used up their time.
No. Hold on, wait a second.
So you don't think you?
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
I think that the only person who has the power to destroy my life is me.
Disagree.
I mean, you can say that now as a person who's grown and gone through something, but when you're in the situation, when you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't know that you're cheating on them, you think like you owe that to.
Why would I develop a dependency for my life's purpose?
But it sounds.
No one's saying it's a dependency.
No, it sounds like you're trying to say that I should just be able to do whatever I want. How you take it is all up to you, but I'm going to have the freedom to do whatever I want, even if it hurts you. That's what it sounds like.
Maybe you didn't hear my first statement. I agree that you don't always have to disclose a betrayal to the betrayed person.
I think that you always should give that to them. It's not in a sense to try and relieve any type of guilt or shame that you have. It's not to say that, oh, once I do this, I'm going to feel better. No, it's, as you said, to put the ball in their court and say, you know what, I got to be upfront with you, because you're thinking about the emotional trauma of what they're going to feel when you say it to their face. But what about the trauma that they'll feel if they hear it from somebody behind their back?
And like, I have to just about putting the ball in your court. I wish that had happened to me. Like, as the person cheated on, both times I was not told. Both times I don't know, used magical intuition or something, and I knew exactly who it was, when it was, what time it happened, and I broke off the relationship.
Deep down.
You used magical intuition and you just knew who, where, and when. Specifically down to what time. Magical intuition. This bitch is spy.
And we always know.
We always know. So, I mean, I think, putting the ball, I wish the ball had been put in my court. Both times I was not apologized to. They never admitted to doing it.
Oh,
and like,
I've been cheated on too, and I've also been cheated on.
And I wish, I don't know
When
how
I
it
was
happened.
cheated on,
I was
as well, he came and told me and broke up with me and gave me no option.
That's right. So
that's
yeah,
why-
yeah. But I
let's
think
hear
that was very, very, very emotionally traumatizing for me. You know,
That-
but
because it felt like abandonment.
yeah, it did. But I've never been abandoned before. Like I've never experienced
your
that.
first
So
experience with
right.
abandonment.
And so it definitely like took time for me to get.
She brought up a very good point. What if someone is suicidal? What if
I see. I did hear that.
Like that made me think, because I'm like, I think you should definitely disclose it at some point somehow, and yet, if I had a partner who was so fragile and I knew that
But how long have they been fragile? Were they fragile when you cheated or way before you cheated? That's kind of why.
I've been in that situation. There are safeguards you can put in place that you make sure that they're with safe people, that they have people who can support them through that time. Because I have been in that situation.
But what I'm saying is, I respect that, but the same token, when you met this person with a suicidal.
Oh no, I'm saying I was the suicidal person who was cheated on.
But using that as like a deterrent for why you shouldn't tell someone it's not always.
As
I understand
somebody,
it.
No, as somebody who was in that situation, I agree that I was still glad I was told.
It's not always the cheater's fault when they cheat.
I can think of one instance where I would say it's not the cheater's fault. If someone is in an abusive situation and maybe they don't feel safe to leave the relationship, I could understand why, and maybe even like they've fallen for someone else, they use that as an excuse to get out of the relationship. I would still say it stems from within, for sure, but that would be the one instance in which I would say I could totally understand like where the cheating came from, that you're not safe.
I think that
You can understand, but is it still their fault? That's the question, man.
that I have read too many accounts of women and men being taken advantage of and being put into a situation where there really is no choice. So a lot of the women that I counsel are in domestic violence households, and a lot of them have been threatened with murder if they chose to leave the relationship. And so what ends up happening is all of a sudden you're at work and you are having a conversation with a male colleague who exhibits genuine care for you and your situation. It's almost impossible to stop the inertia of love from being able to take that person out of the situation.
If I had to play devil's advocate, do you think replacing something that can be considered negative with another negative makes it right?
It's difficult to compare like one sin to another, but I think that at the end of the day, if somebody is harming you, whether it's emotionally or physically, and they're making that choice, that's always going to be worse to me.
I also think that truth and reality really don't give a about right or wrong. So it's kind of like, why would I be
Karma does though. Karma does. And she's real.
so obsessed with labeling somebody else's decision that ultimately resulted in their safety?
Yeah, might make them safer.
Might make them safer to cheat on their domestic abusive partner. Really might make them safer. Oh gosh.
Okay, I believe wrong is wrong. I do. I believe that two wrongs don't make a right. There is no way, like, that's just my personal belief. I don't think that,
But what if that person is not safe to leave?
then, okay, so, but they're okay to cheat.
Wait, it's not a question of okay.
I think that it's without partiality. Like, I can't sit here and say that somebody is right for cheating based
We didn't
off
say
of,
right. We just said
or
not wrong.
they're okay to be able to cheat based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship. If you are in an abusive relationship, get the heck out.
But what if you can't? It's not always that
Then
simple.
how is it that no one is able to tell me?
You got to talk to some girls.
Yeah, okay,
But
no,
my question would be,
calm down.
so
I
if
just want to
we're-
know. I'm asking the question because you're saying that someone
Yeah,
can.
but I'm with Raven on this one. This don't make no damn sense. This don't make sense, bro. So you could be in an abusive relationship and cheat, and you cheating is not your fault just because your partner's abusive? No, you cheating is your fault, just like your partner being abusive is their fault. Jesus! Is that not like very clear, black and white? Now, whether which one's worse, being abusive or cheating, hey, that's not up for discussion. That's not what we're talking about right now. But if you cheat, you are a cheater. Whether good circumstances, whether bad circumstances, bro. You're a cheater. Just like if you steal some shit, hey, whether you're like, I don't know, the richest man, you got all the money in the world, bro, and you don't need to be stealing, or whether you're the homeless bum on the fucking street, Jesus! You're still a thief. Like, I feel like the cope is just crazy right now.
Sit there and cheat on someone based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship. Where does that come? Like, how does that make that okay or make it right? Where does that come?
It's not a black and white thing, and I think we keep coming to that. I don't think anybody is saying like it's okay. I think we're just saying it's not okay, and it's in the middle.
But I believe in yes or no and okay or not
Right,
okay,
and
right or wrong.
I think some of us are thinking black and white, and some of us just aren't those kinds of people, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not open about that.
But I'm not saying that being unsafe in an abusive relationship makes it okay to cheat. What I'm saying is that someone might use forming a relationship with another person as a safety net, because now you have somebody else to go to. Because I think a lot of people don't realize, but the abuse actually kicks up after you leave the relationship. It gets worse because the person who is abusing you will stalk you, will chase you, will blow up your phone, will show up at your house. It is very dangerous for people, I'm not gonna gender it, for people who are leaving abusive situations, it gets more dangerous. And so cheating, forming another relationship with somebody, may actually help that person find safety.
My question would be like, how would it help them find safety if the relationship is already abusive? I would think that would anger the person more.
Yeah,
to where
it doesn't matter though. That's what I'm saying.
It's the disclosing
something
of
to
the
say.
internal reality.
We are all humans in our bodies, and you have a right to feel comfortable in your body and to feel safe. And whether or not you have to make a decision that makes you immoral or whatever in order to protect your safety, that is okay in my eyes. I don't think about right and wrong. I was raised in the church, so I was drilled a lot about black and white and right and wrong. I just can't. Yeah. My dad was a pastor. Crazy.
I know we brought up.
No one asked. But bro, again, right or wrong, if you cheat, you're a cheater. It's your fault for cheating. You decide to make the decision to step out and cheat. Abusive relationship or not, bro. Unless you was literally, unless your partner came to you, grabbed you by the fucking neck and said, ride that nigga's dick. Jesus! Unless that happened, I don't think you can say that it's not your fault for cheating. I don't think you can say that.
Specifics and everything, but I think if we're just looking at the specific prompt in itself, I think that there's always a choice. There's always a choice. I understand, maybe if someone's under the influence and, I can see how that could be literally.
Oh, and just to clear up, because I see what they're talking about. What they might be referring to right now is something called root cause. That's what they're referring to. This is what we like in fucking all them engineering classes being covered at said. Root cause, bro. That's where you you find the root of the problem, which may be the abusive relationship or neglect or whatnot. That's the root cause. But where does the fault lie? On the cheater. What's the question? It's not always the cheater's fault when they cheat. It's pretty simple. I don't get all this back and forth.
Really blurred, but I think in general, if someone's sober,
cheating is a choice.
choice.
No, I agree.
And I think
it's life or
that's
death.
where, and I think that's where we can put the fault on that person because
Thank
they
you.
made that
Some
conscious
logic.
decision.
But what is
And-
the purpose of assigning fault?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying there's any purpose. That wasn't the prompt.
Yeah.
Like the prompt was
Yeah, if
like
you're
that
going
the
off
person
prompt
is at
itself,
fault.
then
Boil it
she's
down.
answering
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to get
But my
deeper.
point,
I'm
but
trying
No,
to get
I
deeper.
understand. I love that.
Yeah, 'cause it's still that choice to where you have to have the accountability held for you. I think that's where it's important to have the right or wrong,
Yes.
regardless of whether we think it's black or white. Yes, I feel like if we do not have an objective choice of what is right, what is wrong, then we should just be in a world that's a free-for-all and jails emptied out. No judicial system. The thought process in my mind, I know it was brought
That'd
up
be
that, okay,
scary, bro.
that may be their only way out of the relationship. But then it was later brought up that sometimes getting out of the relationship is the worsening part. So if you're leaning towards getting out the relationship anyway, are you going to
No,
create
what I
more
meant
havoc?
is that you have a safe haven now that somebody, which is also might lead to more toxic situations. But I just mean, if you are so desperate to get out of a relationship and you know that that abuse is going to crank up as soon as you leave, now I have somebody else to protect me. That's what I was thinking. And I do think that, again, like blame, fault, I prefer.
Bro. Also, sorry, I know I'm pausing bare this video. I have a lot to say there. Also, bro, if I'm your other partner, I suppose if you've made it clear that you're leaving an abusive relationship, and then I'm like, okay, I'll take it on, I'll protect you. If you made it clear to me beforehand, then cool. But if you just come to me and we start dating, and then I'm just seeing niggas always driving past the crib, Donnie's standing outside by the bins just staring at the yard, I'm asking you, who is this? You're like, oh, well, you know, he was the ex-boyfriend that actually used to beat me 5 times a day, and then, you know, I cheated on him with you, and so now he's coming here. Whoa, what? Jesus! I'd be fuming! She'd have to get the fuck out! She'd have to get the fuck out! So, this is very dangerous. This is what advice this woman is giving right now. Very dangerous.
For accountability.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Is something can be right, something can be wrong, something can be in the middle.
And right and wrong is very subjective. Like it's
Exactly.
very different for
But
everyone. And
Last thoughts.
Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, whatever my like reason or excuse or whatever you want to call it, it was a choice that I made, and I cannot put that on the other person.
Okay.
We have to move on. Any last
I want to
concluding
say
words
one
for
thing.
each
I
person?
want to say one thing.
No, we got to move on to the last concluding words.
Once a cheater, always a cheater isn't a thing. I believe that there is forgiveness. I believe that you should forgive yourself. I believe in confessing to your partner. I believe that you owe that to that person. If you are cheating, you know, you need to tell them, and you can change. There is a new life for you. But that's what I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
It's great to like be able to have a conversation and see the other side and the other perspective in a safe space, you know. So I don't really have any concluding thoughts about the conversation other than thank you for the conversation. Yeah.
to hear your perspective, it all made me think. And you know, the interesting thing for me is knowing why I cheated and where I am now just as a human being with my maturity, understanding of the world, and my own history of abuse and trauma, and how it, you know, it's like I've forgiven myself a long time ago. It's not about that, but kudos to everyone for just being respectful and really being vulnerable. So, yeah.
So
obviously going through being cheated on, it wasn't a great experience, but I have a different perspective than I have ever had, like than I ever would have had if I didn't get cheated on.
She finna go out and cheat on her next boyfriend. With that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. 2 videos dropping a day. That means another one with this one. Videos dropping every single day, 5:15 UK time. So make sure you pull up tomorrow, because I'll see you then. Peace, love, and prosperity. We gone.